Hi, people. My hair was all kind of knotted up, so I brushed it. Now it doesn't look as good. Oh well, that's life, isn't it? Life in the fast lane surely help you lose your mind. Problem is, I'm not in a fast lane. I'm in a slow lane. I be trying, but I just don't know what I'm doing. So I figured, since I'm going to spend all this time cutting material, that I could talk to you guys at the same time. Sorry about the glare. I wonder if I turned off the light, what would happen? Might be better, because there's still light coming through the window. Through yonder window break. I don't know. That would be like Shakespeare, which I don't know a lot about Shakespeare, but I'm going to have to turn on the light because I can't see. I'm cutting black material, and it's just not letting me see what I'm doing. I wonder what would happen if I put you there. I'm just trying something different. I like to multitask. And I need to probably control myself. I'm trying to figure out, like I've said, I want to make quilts for my chillins. Be one thing I leave behind that maybe will last for years if I do it well, right? So, I'm going to have to put on my glasses just so that I can see what the heck I be doing. Because black, this material is black, what I'm going to be cutting. And it's hard to see even with my glasses on, but what I got to do is make sure all the pieces... Okay, so I've been cutting material and I had not thought about washing it. I mean, I think the thought crossed through my mind for a second, and then I let it go. But I asked the question of Google yesterday, or whoever. It's not really Google, is it? Anyway, I asked if I should pre-wash cotton, which I bought all this cotton now, and it just makes me wonder if I shouldn't have already just bought poly cotton, because I don't know. I was seeing on the batting where they did 80% cotton, 20% polyester. All I know is polyester doesn't wrinkle, and it doesn't shrink. And so here I are with all this material that they said, yes, you should wash it. So when you wash it, then you've got to get it all put back out. And this is a 3-yard piece, which makes it even harder. Harder to put it out there just right. In other words, I'm trying to lay it out, iron it, fold it over, and have it just correct. Well, I think I've got it kind of sort of put where I can do that. So I'm going to take my plastic ruler. This thing is a little too big. I need to actually get... Okay, we got to square this off. I want to cut strips. I was looking at a tutorial, and she took 10-inch squares and cut it into 3.5 inches and 6.5 inches. So just 2 different sizes. And I've seen the jelly roll quilts that they're doing, and those end up being 2 inches exposed material once you sew up the seams. So I might be a little foolish, but that's the way it goes. Like my Papa Bear would say, first your money and then your clothes. But anyway, yesterday I spent time cutting up strips of material that I just bought. Now, this is a 2.5-inch strip, okay? But what I had decided to do was do what she did. Take after that woman. And so far I did different. So instead of 2.5 inch, strips. I made 3.5 inch, you know, like the piece that she cut off. And so if you sew these in strips, you're going to end up with a 3-inch exposure. So it makes the square bigger. And it also looks like patchwork. And that might just be sufficient. I need to do what's the easiest thing for me instead of getting carried away. So here's a blue one, which matches my nightgown. I'm in my nightgown. And then there's they call this Harbor Blue. But if you ask me, it's green. My daughter wanted, okay, first of all, she said she'd take whatever I had. So she chose what I had. And then she saw that I had chocolate brown. She didn't like that. I like chocolate brown. So anyway, what I told her is I just want her to enjoy her quilt. And I want it to be beautiful. So here's, okay, let's see. Turn that around. I'll show you the difference between, this is 2.5. So it's just a little bit bigger. Those are pretty together though, aren't they? So anyway, I have chocolate brown, 3 yards. I have black, 3 yards. And those I bought yesterday, those 2 colors. I went to Walmart and purchased 2 yards of each of those, but they are in yard pieces, just 1 yard each. The stuff's just not working the way I want it to. I'm trying to square it up across the bottom here so that I will have a straight cut. Because I'm going to be doing this for quite a few pieces. And I don't know. The quilt that woman was doing was, I'll stick with the 18. You know, it had different sizes, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It had, you know, the 6.5 inches and the 3.5. But I'm just thinking to myself, maybe I'll still do the, can't talk, can't multitask, because then I can't remember what I'm talking about. Anyway, the jelly roll effect is going to be good. So what I'm going to do, unless I change my mind, I am going to sew like the jelly rolls, except for it'll be 1 inch bigger, and which will make the squares and stuff bigger. Now, the rotary thing is really great. So for that, I haven't, I bought this, and it's getting dull, and I don't have any other blades. And then again, I'm just not really versed at this yet. So I just cut off this fray stuff and made it square. In other words, it's folded twice. It's about 44 inches deep. So now it is, how many inches? Because divide 44, so it's about 11 inches. Damn thing is just too big, the ruler, okay? So it's not even quite 11 inches, actually, so it must not have been 44. Plus the fact that I washed it, so it'll shrink, so that later it won't shrink. But I was not even going to do that because it says wash in cold water. So if you wash it in cold water, it should not shrink. But then you got to put it in the dryer. So then you don't want it on a real high temperature or it's going to shrink. So I went ahead and did the brown and the black and those 2, the Harbor Blue and the turquoise, have been pre-washed. So we'll just see what happens after that. And I just think it would be more simple Instead of doing, I mean, I've been watching a lot of tutorials, but I just don't think they're sinking in my head, and I do get a little lost. So I think if I just keep them all the same size and I do them like jelly rolls, and then I cut them, and I discovered that the other day. Not discovered, but tried to discuss it is what it was. So horizontal is this way. And the reason I smiled when I said horizontal the other day, it was a little private joke. It wasn't really a joke. You've heard of that song. They've got the horizontal bop. They be talking about sex. So that's why I smiled when I figured, oh, that's horizontal. Okay, so you've got horizontal, and then when you make a cut, you can turn it around and make it vertical. So you can have a slice that's horizontal and one that matches in size, but vertical. And then you do the next one horizontal and the next one vertical. And then when you put all the rows together, it just really makes a nice quilt. And it seems like it would be easy. Except for the part about putting it on the batting. So I still have much to learn because they're talking about quilt as you go. And some of them are putting them right on the batting. And not just on the batting, but the backing. But I don't know how you can do that whole thing. So I'm going to just concentrate on I don't know that I will cut this whole thing, but I'm going to cut a bunch of them in 3.5-inch strips. And then the other thing is they were doing the binding, taking the material and doing a binding, and that needs to be 2.5 inches. And they said some people do it at 2.25. Whatever is best for you. I'm going to do 2.5 because it gives you room. Okay, so trying to see the dots on this grid because I'm at 18. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.5 is going to be at 14.5. And I'm going to make me see, I'm probably pushing way too hard, but it's still not going all the way through. Of course, I've got 4 layers. Go back over there. That's what I'm saying. I probably need, yeah, I need new blades. There. Okay, so there's a black 3.5-inch strip. Black 3.5 by 44. And then you undo it one more time. But I do think that's going to be about the easiest way to go. So you could do black and then blue and then another one and then another one. I could do these 4 colors. I don't know how well they would turn out together. You know, the chocolate with the black and the 2 blues. But actually I have some red. So black and red will look good together. What else do I have? I don't know. But I think that I like the 3.5-inch squares. Because how many times do you see a quilt and it's just a bunch of blocks? So you can get the same effect with this. That's how they're doing it. They sew it together and then they cut it across, and so it's already done. And that is to move you over. That's on 11. Okay. So these things are really groovy grapes. Beats the heck out of scissors. Even though I don't get it all the way through. There. So I asked my grandson, he was here earlier. I said, so what are your favorite colors? I'll take anything. I'm going, I want to know your colors. So I'm not even sure if he gave me anything besides the dark blue. So that's a navy blue. I'm going, that's almost black. I don't know why you'd want navy blue. But then again, he doesn't care. He says he'll take anything. I just want to know what their favorite colors are, and then I can kind of incorporate it in. And I guess maybe we change our mind about what we like the best. Okay, I'm going to go to 16 and a half. There went my phone. I wonder why. Just yank it. It was stuck. Because it's 3 yards and I've got it folded up. And that's after washing it and it being all wrinkled, and it's still kind of wrinkled, and it's 3 yards long, so it's not so easy to just fold it over and get it correct. But I think I got it mostly, I got it folded over half down there, and I got it folded over in fourths up here. And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do that. Do, 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 hey, hey. Yes, I went from mug rugs to coasters to my quilt. 1, 2, 3. Because I'm not really necessarily enjoying sewing that much to worry about. You know, someone said, go enjoy your sewing. Well, excuse me, it's not really enjoyable. Unless you're making something really neato. And so, I'm done. I am done with the coasters. Mug rugs, I'm not sure, because I'm going to try to figure out a way to make a bigger mug rug. It'd be more like a placemat. So for maybe a smaller placemat. Not sure. Is this going to cross? No. I have 2 spots that it didn't cut through. Arrgh! Did I get it? Okay. So, I love black, okay? I think it's a great accent color. And then some people just like black, like a friend of mine. So any old who, people, I just thought I'd get on here and multitask, because I haven't really talked to you guys very much. I'm going to slide you over to there. Yes, I'm a tiger. You got a tiger by the tail when you got Lou. 1, 2, 3. All right, so I can go to 9 and a half and get my 3 inches. It's kind of hard to see those little dots over there. So I just think that I've dulled my blade in a few places. It doesn't want to go through. Ow. I think that's going to be good. And black and chocolate should be good too. It's my favorite color of the brown is 1, 2, 3 and a half. Okay, so we're going to go to 6. Do 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 do. So I know you never know who I'm going to reach out there. So here's the deal. Here's the question from Mary Lou. If you were quilting and you know what you're doing, would you use a poly cotton so it doesn't wrinkle or shrink? Because I know polyester does not shrink. And I know when you take it out of the dryer, it is not wrinkled. So it's all a matter of, now that's not square. We've got to make that square. Do, 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 do. But there was, you know, there was a time that I sewed and sewed and sewed. When I was a little kid. I made a beautiful blue velvet dress. And I made a gold velvet dress. I made a gown to go to a prom. But these are all still pretty simple things. I didn't make the really groovy grapes one. I bought a dress. I bought a dress a long time ago from Goodwill. It was in there and they had the whole wall on sale for $1 a piece. And this dress is gorgeous, but it doesn't have the lace-up thing for the back. And I do know that other people go and they get dresses and then they alter them. So trying to figure out how to alter that, because that's a beautiful color. I should show it to you. It's up there on the hook. I've never tried it on. I don't know if it would fit me, and it's for a tall person, which is my daughter. So I told her I had to try that on because it might fit her perfect. Whereas with me, it'll be dragging the ground. Plus, with these treatments they got me on, it softens my bones. And I've already shrunk an inch. I was 5'5" all my life. You know, once I grew up. But now I'm 5'4½", unless it's changed. Let's go down here. I'm gonna have to fold that up over there. So I guess what I'm doing is I'm making a puzzle. I'm making a puzzle and then I got to put it together. And yeah, I'm not making, like I looked at a tutorial the other day and she was making stars, which I'm sure turned out really pretty. Okay, so I'm at 16½, so I'm going to go down 13. I got a head start on this because of what I've already cut. I've seen how it goes. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Still one piece. Okay. Do 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 do. Hey hey. You're so far away. Hey. Life sucks sometimes, but we got to find the happiness involved. We have to let go of the bad stuff and keep the good stuff, and it's really not easy. It is not easy. Do, 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 do. This blade is definitely sharp though, even though it's dull in a couple places, because I cut me the other day. It's like a little razor blade. Dum 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 dum. Okay, we don't want to get too far off the beaten path here. So I guess I'm going to have to figure out how to get some more blades and how to put them on, because this is the only time I've ever used a rotor. Not right this minute, but really pretty much. I don't know if I used it at Dad's house or not. You know, because I was making all those cozies and stuff. So I might have. That's when I bought it, was when I was at his house. Okay, so we got 9.5. So that's going to take us down to 6, I think. Do, 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 do. Okay, looks like it. Aha! I have to learn how to push it just right. I'm going to have to bring some of this down. My daughter doesn't have an iron. And see, I've got an iron, but it's this little thing. It's not really very hot. It doesn't do, what do you call it? Steam. It says it does. And I guess maybe it would, but you know, not like a big iron. See, this is little. See my hand? Little thing. But it'll do. It'll work in a pinch. Is that what somebody says? Okay, I want 16.5. Come back down here. And yes, I'm hungry. Always hungry. I made me a glass of Ovaltine, but I'm not sure what I did with it. So maybe I put it in the fridge downstairs. 16.5, 16.5. Going to go to 13. I know, I probably should stop before I use it all. But I got a feeling that I'm going to want to just use this size. And like I said, I've ordered some more material, so. There's my daughter. First of all, she was just trying to use what I already had. She didn't realize I was going to go buy some. Oh, I gotta go potty. All right, I'm gonna cut one more strip, and then I guess I'm gonna say I gotta go. If you guys have been following me for a while, then you know that I did 14 days. You know what? I'm gonna hit pause. There. Did it work? No, that's not pause. Okay. 29.5. Let's see. I do 1, 2. I could do one more strip, but anyway. I thought I paused it before, and evidently I did not. I left real quick. See this right here? I need to put a back on it. And this black would be perfect. Oh, my back. And actually I can get 4 out of just this amount right here. Oh. All right, so I started making the coasters with these. But like I said, not really enjoying it that much. But here's the deer with blue. See, that would look good with the black too. And I haven't made any of these, we'll call it a mug rug or a small placemat. It's a very small placemat, which you could have a sandwich and a drink without having to bring out a big old thing. Plus it's pliable. You can just lay it down. If it gets messy, put it in the wash. So that's what I need to do. Okay, so I'm going to save, let's see, this will do 4, and then this will do 4, 2, 3. Yep, I can make one more strip, and then that'll leave enough to make 8 if I use black. Or even if I just want to do a coaster and put black on the back. I have done one of these with blue on the back. But I just think, that's just stuff I had, okay? That's stuff I had from when I was with Dad's. And I was doing bowl cozies. And I was trying to find something unique, I guess. Okay, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to do, if I can, I'm going to do one more strip because there's room. I guess it doesn't matter where I'm at. There's 18 and a half. I know I pull faces, sorry. Okay, so I'm at 18 and a half. And I'm pretty much squared off. So I want to go to 15, I bet. 1, 2, 3 and a half. Yes, 15. Yes, be careful with the blade next to your face. Why? Oh. It still had the guard on I was trying to cut. I'm going, what's wrong here? Okay. Big difference. Ow. I hurt my thumb. Okay, I'm done with cutting the black. I'm going to leave the rest of it, which is only a little over 2 feet. But that's enough to cover those mats if I do some more that match, because that's the only one like it. I can't see. There you go. All right, stop. Give me that. Turn it over. See, another thing, when I was listening to something about washing the material, they said something and I didn't do it. I didn't really understand it, but then I remembered the words so that it'll stop it from fraying massively. Okay, well I didn't do what they said, so I had a lot of fraying. Strings I had to cut off. But what they were saying to do was something about at the corners to cut it. I don't know if you're supposed to notch it, if that means like a V, but they were saying it would stop it from fraying so bad. And I guess I understand that now but you don't want to, I mean, you can tell where the salvage side is because it didn't fray. It was already frayed. But anyway, I've got to figure out what I'm doing, people. And I know what it is I need to get a job. But I need to go to where there isn't a problem about marijuana. See, you guys cause so much problems with your laws. You could just let that go. Because if someone smokes at home, it's going to be in their system for 30 days. So it's still going to come up that they have been smoking. And that's ridiculous because, you try to get a buzz. It doesn't last very long. It doesn't last very long at all. And then I don't know how they do their testing, if there's ways to tell levels or not. But you've got a workforce that needs employees, and you've got people who need to work, but this marijuana law gets right smack in the middle of it. Cutting off your nose to spite your face. I know we're not all doing that. I'm just, the ones that fit, the ones that have some say-so. That's what you're doing. Our workforce could have a lot more employees if they weren't so persnickety. It's those other drugs that they ought to worry about. And finding a level, because people should not smoke and go to work. Or they shouldn't go off and take a break and smoke at work. Because it does affect your motor skills, your reaction times and stuff like that, just like alcohol. However, alcohol will make you mean and violent, whereas pot usually lets you understand what's going on. I mean, if we're talking about a conversation with people, you probably don't understand what I'm saying, but the point is, the laws need to change. And then you wouldn't have criminals. And here's another thing. Quit drug testing. If there is an accident at work, on the job, then test. But you don't need to be making people all schizophrenic over it. That wasn't quite the right word. Paranoid over it. I mean, really. Marijuana's a peace drug. But you got people out there doing other drugs. And here's the deal. They're easier to come up with. They're cheaper. And they're out of your system in 3 days instead of 30. So you got people doing things that they might not do if they could just have their marijuana. You need to make it free. What I'm saying is free of regulation. And free, when you say free of regulation, I mean, when I say that, I mean the dispensaries and stuff like that, they are making them go through hell, go through hoops, and charging them a lot of money, and that charge comes back on us. Because we have to charge for the cost of doing business, right? Anyway, just saying, I would get, you would have a lot of expense cut away. Quit drug testing on jobs, unless it's of high need. Not as a discrimination thing saying you can't work here, but as, okay, you have people's lives in your hands. That's a little different story. You might want to have some random drug testing going on, but you can tell. If you pay attention to your employees, you can tell if they are high. And you can tell by their eyes, too. You can see it. So instead of worrying about all this drug testing crap, you drug test when there's been an accident, not in case there's an accident. Kind of like insurance. We have insurance in case we have an accident. And then there's people out there having accidents on purpose because, hey, it's to their advantage. All right, so I got the black done. I'll show you the stack I made. Doesn't look like a lot, does it? And it was a lot of work. And I don't know which way is better. Because I wanted to buy jelly rolls because they're already cut up. But they're all 2.5 inches. And I think I like the 3.5 inch better. but I haven't seen a quilt finished yet either. We will see. We will see. So the next one that I need to cut is chocolate. Chocolate. Dum dum da dum. One of the fabrics that I was using, I'll just pull it over. It's still in a piece, isn't it? No, it's in a 6-inch piece. But I'll show you. Well, actually, 1, 2. Okay, ow. Oh, I thought my back popped. Okie dokie. So, here's one of those materials that I've been using. Okay, I've made a coaster out of it. I've got this cut in like a 6-inch strip, I think. Dum dum, yeah, 6 inches. But here's the deal. I need to put my glasses on. The material I bought yesterday. The green. And then the blue. See that light tip right there on the flowers? And I have some red. So red and both of these that I just bought yesterday. Then there could be pink, a light pink. Just saying, if you needed different colors for variety inside your quilt. I just don't know what it would look like. But this color, the green, looks really good with that material. And then, okay, so this lighter, this is turquoise, the other color. So I have got cobalt blue coming. And I'm not sure that that will go with that. But there are some pieces that are like blue. And that was called Like, L-I-K-E. It sounded like light blue. Okay, so I'll be done cutting up 3 colors. And I'm going to do the brown. I ought to go find the red. That's what I should do. Because black and red go good together. And my light keeps changing. Are you guys seeing me? Come back here. Ow. I'm using something different. I'll take this off so you can see. My basically son-in-law, he's my daughter's significant other. So silly. Anyway, he's got one of these things. And I'm going, oh, because I was wanting one of those things. So I'll show you. This is what I've had my phone sitting on. And then this thing, I don't know how to put you down where I could just show you because that iron is hot. I was going to say if I have something to lean you on. Let's see. There, I'll put you back there. I just want to be able to show you. Because it's really neat. I'm going to borrow it. He told me before I could. But anyway, this arm lifts up. And then this will adjust down. And then you can go forward. But also, it has a speaker. So if it's all charged up, you can put your phone on there and somehow have your phone come through the speaker. But anyway, this is what I sit the phone on when I'm downstairs doing the dishes so that you can see me. I've been using that ring thing in the other room. However, I haven't been using it lately because I had the sewing machine in the way. But I figured today, if I was going to mess around in here, maybe that would work. And I could, it's a bad expression, so I'm not using that. But do 2 things at one time, you know, multitask. And the thing I didn't want to say is kill 2 birds with 1 stone. That's an expression. And I'm not sure where it comes from, but it's an expression, all right. I find myself saying things that are just not cool. And they're expressions from when I was young. Which means on the East Coast. I was born in North Carolina. About 80 miles from the coast. I'm just cutting some of these strings off that happened because it was washed. So I just threw it in there. And then the other thing I did, I had washed a load of clothes. And then there were some towels down there. The laundry's in the basement. There were some towels down there. And I thought, oh, I'll just go ahead and put those in the washer. And bring some more because I had 2 more towels up here that I could have put with it. But I forgot I did it. And then I put my material in there. So those towels went through with this material, which probably beat it up some. So I just put it through a wash cycle. So I got beat up. And all these strings. The fraying that I could have prevented, maybe. However, it still worked. I gotta move that. This is another 3-yard piece of material. And I think, you know, if you're not worried about, if you're making a dress or something similar, if you're not worried about one long piece. Okay, for some reason my phone is just looking like it's, the light isn't showing very good. I know, I get distracted, so then I don't know what I'm saying. I just kind of folded this in half and in half and in half. I didn't do anything special, so I got to undo it. And it is true. Some of those tutorials say, if I can quilt, so can you. You know, but we just have to watch. And then people out there that are making videos, and I'm sure that I'm one of them too, we leave things out. You know, there's some important words left out that I'd be finding myself going, huh? What? What do I do here? Or, you know, I don't know how to explain it any better. But nevertheless, people leave instructions out all the time. Details. My sister Nancy is driving for Uber. I wonder if she's just doing passengers to the, I don't know. Philip has been doing Uber, and he does Uber rides where he takes a lot of people to the airport, which is a good little jaunt for them. They don't live that close to the airport. But it's still, I want to say 75 minutes. See, in Colorado where I live, or where my place is, I think I'm an hour and a half from the airport. So just to take someone to the airport would be quite a jaunt. But I tell you what, I bet there's a need. I bet there's a need is what I was trying to say. Because when I was living in Colorado, I needed to get to the airport. It sure would be nice. I mean, if a person had the money to pay for the Uber, it would be nice to be able to call Uber and say, hey, I need to, that's a long ways away. And then you probably have to worry about paying for their way back. Because that's a lot of gas. But they're driving Teslas. So I'm not sure what they're getting paid and if it's worth it. As long as you just don't get in an accident. And Nancy was without her car. It was totaled. She was without her car for a couple of months. And then, I mean, I haven't heard the final word, but it was like it was going to take all that money she put down on the house. I want to know why that's blurred. I know it's my eyes because I don't have my glasses on, but it seems dark. Maybe I need to open the window. In other words, the blinds. We took the air conditioner out of the window, so then it's got a shade all the way down now instead of... I could do that. How many minutes are we at? We're at 50. All right, so I got this one piece of material. I really should go wash that other material before I go cutting on it. And I've got a lot more coming. Okay, so what I've got in the other room is poppy red. And I'm not sure what color the red is that's coming, but the bolt was on sale. It was, I believe, 8 yards. I know that it worked out. It worked out to in between $1.50 and $2 a yard, and it's 100% cotton. So I ordered 2 of them. I got a feeling I need to turn off the light in that thing, because if it's dark for you guys like it's dark for me, then that's not cool. Maybe I'll open that window. Dum dum da dum. That should give me more light. But it seems to be the device that's dark. I don't know. I don't know. This is the strings I just cut off. I feel like I ought to put that on pause and go check the lighting. But we'll leave it alone for now. And I haven't read a scripture, and I don't know of a scripture. Dum dum da dum. So we'll see if I can figure out a song. So I gotta unfold this material, and it's 3 yards long, and I have it just folded in half the other way. Okay. Well, no, I'm gonna have to put my glasses on. I think that's the salvage edge. I'm pretty sure. Pretty doggone sure. You know, sewing's not just for girls. I saw a tutorial. Of course, I didn't see him doing it. But it seems like I did see something where there was a guy sewing. Okay. Bum, bum, bum. I don't know. It's a pain in the butt to have to do all this, you know. But cotton costs more than the poly cotton. Must be a reason, right? The one reason that comes to mind, and I'm not sure if it's it, is the fact that polyester melts. So in a fire situation, you don't want your clothes, you don't want your bedding. You know, like when you're asleep and the fire comes and grabs you, you won't have a chance. Your clothes will melt to you. I know, not a good thing I'm talking about, huh? Dun, 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 dun. I know, I probably don't have that good enough, but we'll see. We'll just have to see. That looks good. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. I had a dress when I was a teenager that was made out of this color material, this brown. Okay, well, probably the same kind of material actually. But the reason I brought it up is because I altered it. It had short sleeves, just short sleeves, okay? Nothing poofy about them or anything, just a short sleeve. And I can't remember the bodice part. It seems to me that it had darts that went down, so it was shaped to your body. And then the skirt was pleated, or it had pleats all around it or something. Well, I didn't like it, but you know what I did? I found some see-through material. So I have sewn on something like that. See-through material that was a chocolate brown, same color. So I took those sleeves out and put new sleeves in with that see-through chocolate. And it had a cup on it. I think it had a cup. It either had a cup or elastic. Whatever, I had poofy long sleeves. And then the skirt, I took the skirt off. Okay, so I'll stand up. I've got this thing on me. But anyway, we'll just say the skirt of it probably started down here, okay? So it was body fitting down to here. And then so I took the skirt off, and then I flattened it out, made an A-line skirt out of it instead of a pleated thing. So I changed that dress quite a bit, and it looked good. I liked it. I'm just saying, it is a good skill to have. And I was living with Nancy for a little while, and one of her caregivers from a long time ago was talking about getting dresses from the Goodwill and altering them. You know, because Nancy was needing prom dresses for her daughter. Well, that caregiver was real well versed. She was quite the seamstress, and she did that for, I don't know if she did it for a living, but she did it for a lot of people. Maybe it was just people in the family. All right, well, this has to be kind of squared up. I don't want to cut it off but down here, see down here, I've got it to where I could, but it's off. Turn it over. Anyway, I'm not saying that I can sew. I do have some experience with it, but that doesn't mean I can do it. So I probably really need to fix this whole piece. But this looks so good right here. Dun, 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 dun. When I'm saying it looks so good, I'm saying it looks square. I just have to cut off the end where it's not square, because I want to make those strips. Let me just see. Let me just take a look at what the end of this looks like. All right, I know I'm leaving you guys hanging. Oh, I think I'll just stop until I get that figured out. Because if I can just square it up from the beginning to the end, then I can just, it is looking pretty good though. right here. So that's what I should do. I'll just go with what I got, cut off those edges. Okay. Yeah, it's much easier to do 1 yard at a time. Yes, he is. I definitely... I'm smitten. But oh well. Okay, so I'm going to get my little ruler out, which is not little. I've got the iron over there. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and iron that. And then I'm going to put on my glasses so I can see what I'm doing. Okay. Do-do, do-do. All right, we can pull it this way. We got hair everywhere. Okay, so let's see. I can see. Okay. We're going to call that good, people. Looks good to me, so it must be good. First thing I'm going to do is try to square it with my board with these lines so that my strips are going to be straight. And what I've got to do, okay, that'll work. Let's see. I'm going to go over the line. One step over the line, sweet Jesus, one step over the line. Waiting downtown in a railway station. You know what? I think that says one toke over the line. Okay, I'm being a little bit persnickety here. Okay, guys, I'm going to pull down the cover of my blade. So it's not sparkling in here. There's some reason my camera is dark. All right, ow. So I did it twice. When I say ow, it's because my thumb hurts. I'm sure it's from macrame and tying frickin' knots. Okay, so I am at 16. I think I want to go to 16 and a half. Like I did before. 16 and a half and square it up on one of them lines. Okay, that makes sure you're straight. Then I'm going to go to 13, like I did before. Okay, so I haven't done it, but I'm going to get me an Alexa. So I can just tell it to sing me songs. And it's not singing me songs, it's playing me songs. So like that song is probably called One Toke Over the Line. One toke over the line, sweet Jesus, one toke over the line. Waiting downtown in a railway station. I don't know the rest. He's going to be leaving to go somewhere, I'm pretty sure. Okay, I've got to not push on my thumb like I was doing. Because it's hurting my little thumb. Now, there's not enough room to keep going. I have to go down here. So maybe I should start a little further up the road here. If I go, all right, we'll start at 20. And then it has to be squared. We're on 20. Let's Let's go 19 and a half. Okay, there's 19 and a half. Which means I think I can go to 16. 1, 2, 3 and a half. Okay. Okay. Bum bum bum. Bum 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 bum. And no, I have no clue if that goes to anything. Bum 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 bum. Oh well. All right, so I'm at 16. I need 12 and a half, I believe. There's 12 and a half. There's 16. I know, I'm taking way too long. 12 and a half, so 9. 1, 2, 3 and a half. Okay, so 9 is the next number. So, what did you guys do this weekend? What day is it? It's not the weekend anymore. Did I say 9? I bet I did. 1, 2, 3 and a half. Yes. Okay, so we're going to go just on the other side of 9. Because I'm off just a little bit on the other side. Dum dum. Yeah, I know. I don't have it put together. But part of it is. So we'll just deal with what we got. Iron it just a smidge. At least the salvage is, huh? You see, cotton is wrinkly. So when you guys get a quilt, if you have a quilt and it's 100% cotton, you still might want to... I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm going to stop. Okay. Waiting on a train. Where's he going? Waiting downtown at the railway station. One toke over the line. But I don't know what's next. The sweet Jesus is in there. You know, some people aren't very kind about Jesus. They've let Satan take over. And Jesus is a bad word, bad name. Craziness in the frickin' head. I never took a pain pill, as you can tell. A lot of the pain pills work. Okay, we got wrinkled up stuff over here. Okay, I'm getting close anyway. Do, 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 do. One toke over the line. It just came out of nowhere. I don't know why, because I don't think I was talking about pot. It could have been, I guess. If I go back and listen to my video, I'll know, huh? Okay. Yeah. So we'll go 22 and a half. And we'll square it up. Might be 19. Yes. 19 was correct. All right, so I need 15 and a half. I don't know how long a person needs for their binding, but that's another thing. But I'm just going to be worried about making the quilt top. All right, so we're at 15 and a half. So 12 is 1, 2, 3 and a half. Okay, we want 12. Okay, go over there a little bit. 12. All right, so what I need, I need a few things, okay? I do feel an urgency to get these quilts done because you never know when I'm going to leave. And I'm not talking about death. I just mean leave because I need to go to Kansas and I probably need to go to Colorado. This is on 12. 1, 2, 3 and a half. So I need 8 and a half. Okay. Yes, I can get more material. But I wonder, I wonder if their lots turn out the same. You know, back in the day, years ago, when I was crocheting and stuff, you had to buy the yarn, all of it, because the lot numbers, in other words, the next time they made a batch could be different. It didn't look the same. The color didn't look the same. But I guess in quilting it'll be close enough. Okay, so that song was at the same time as a bunch of other ones were. If you can't be with the one you love, then love the one you're with. Remember that song? If you can't be with the one you love, then love the one you're with. I wasn't, I had been sent to New York when that song was out. So I was 15, 16. I was 16. Okay, so this is on 20. Squared up. 1, 2, 3 and a half. So I need 16 and a half. Okay. All right. Now I like chocolate. So if I was going to make if I was going to make me a quilt, then I would have no problem with chocolate. And And I'm talking about the material, the color. I'm not talking about eating chocolates. All right, that's on 16 and a half, so I believe 13 is where we want to be. I wish I knew where my Book of Mormons were. I think I have to get a suitcase out and I'll find them. I've got 2 Book of Mormons. My daughter's going to send a package to my grandson he's over in Poland. He broke his toe. Or we'll put it this way, someone else broke his toe. In 2 places, his big toe. So I don't know what else is going on, but she said he's bored. Well, a person that's bored, she's trying to find a book to send him, but see, she would never send a Book of Mormon. That would just be ridiculous. So what I need to do is get his address and figure out so I can send him one. I mean, if you're bored and you want to find some interesting stuff, read the Book of Mormon. And what it is there's 15 parts to that Book of Mormon. Some of the parts are just short. Like Omni, I don't know how many chapters he had. I think he might have just had 1 chapter. And he didn't want to write in it. He didn't want to do it. He was told to do it. So he only wrote a little bit and carried in other words, it was his responsibility to take care of the records and to send it on, I believe is how that worked. 1, 2, 3 and a half. 1, 2, 3 and a half. So it's 18 and a half. Okay. My rotary's way over there. So, I'm sorry I lost my voice. I'm sure that doesn't sound good when that happens. So, for a binding, you would cut 2.5-inch strips if you just were doing a binding like on the outer edge of a quilt. I know there's something wrong with this thing. Something's wrong with my camera. What's the deal? Anyway, it's an hour and 18 minutes. I don't have any scriptures in here. There's things going on. There's things going on in the church, and I need to take time to stop and listen. And I think it's wonderful. I heard somebody make a statement, something about a cruise ship. That was a temple. In order to go out to all these islands and give them the opportunity to have the ordinances perform for themselves, okay? Because first you go to the temple to do it for yourself. And then you go back to do it for other people. So the main important thing is to get yourself done. Especially if you're already married and you want to be married forever to your person. You know, some people might not want that. Some people don't want marriage. Myself, you know, on the one hand, no, I don't want marriage. It's a hard thing. Okay, I'm on 18 and a half. It's over. It kind of shrunk. Okay, that's why, because you pulled it. Okay, don't do that. So I'll just go to 19 and a half. Make sure it's square. 19 and a half, come on. All right, that's 19 and a half, which means I need to go to 16, I believe. Okay. Make sure. Okay, so it's on 16. 1, 2, 3 and a half. So I need 12 and a half. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. I got it rolled up. I think, now here's one of my favorite colors, people. Brown and blue. I love those. And this is an aqua. Or actually it's turquoise is what it's called. I don't know why this seems like my camera is dark. Nevertheless, I wouldn't mind having just that. But see, I love cobalt blue, and that's on the way. So, I'm going to have a lot to choose from. Because I want to get the red done. I'm going to have to go get that in the wash so that I can... Right, that's at 19 and a half, which means I need to go to 16, I believe. I know, I started talking about that, and I don't have any information on it, but I was just saying that I could see that. I could see that happening. Whereas you have a sacred temple on board a ship, and you can go and dock into these islands and let these people come and get their endowments. You know, if you're an adult, that's what you're going to want to do, is take out your endowment. And then if you're married, if you're married to someone you totally love and want to be with forever, then hey, there you go. Go get sealed in the temple. And you don't have to try to figure out an air flight or a ship, you know, a way to get to where a temple is. We could bring it to you, and that is killer. So things are happening. I'm just not sure. And then they're talking about Adam Di Almond. I'm probably saying it wrong, but I've told you guys about that place. And I don't know all the details about that place except for, I believe it's the gateway to the Garden of Eden. And I know Jesus is going to appear there before the second coming. And it almost seems like I saw on the internet that it might have already happened. I wish that light was not so dull. It seems like I might have a problem. All right, so I think 12 and a half is what I need next. 1, 2, 3 and a half. So there you go, right there. So I'm not sure what's left, but I know that I've got red. I've got a poppy red that I can put in the wash. I'm not sure. I must have got a 3-yard piece of that too, but I'm not sure, really. But here's that poppy red right over here. Okay. And another blue. Oh, that's a different blue. And there's the poppy red. These are, I'm not sure what these are. 1.5 inch? No, they're 2-inch. 2-inch strips. And I did that because of some mug rugs. That's what size they're making them. Okay, so any old who. I'm sorry about it being dark. I don't understand. But anyway, I'm at 12.5. So what do I want to go to? 8.5. No, I'm at 12.5. 1, 2, 3. So I need to go to 9. Well, I know it's been a long, boring little deal here. And I was going to say, my granddaughter and her beau have left for Daytona. I was going to say Daytona. Daytona. Anyway, they left after midnight. Now, I don't remember if it's 12 hours to where they're going from here. But it seems like it is. This little iron is just not as good as a big one. And then especially if you want to go through 4 layers of material, you might really want to burst of steam, you know. Yeah, hit this thing and steam shoots out, or steam shoots out of the bottom. But sometimes it can be a bad thing. Okay, so I'm not sure. Wonder how much I've got left here. That is 24. And 19. 24 and 19, so it'd be 25. Well, 19 is right at 20, so we can say I got lost. I must have got lost. I do that. Get lost. But that's okie dokie. I'm rolling it up. I think I'll cut a couple more strips and then let it be. I see it was sold. That's what I was trying to figure out. I've got 24, which is 2 feet. I don't know how many times you get a 3.5 inch strip out of it. But anyway, 2 feet and then 20 inches, 19 inches. So that's 3 feet, 6 inches, I believe. I believe that that would be true. Oh, Maybelline, why can't it be true? Okay, let's see. We're at 20.5 is where we're at. So we'll go 1, 2, 3. So we need to go to 17. I'm counting 3 inches, and I've already got it a 1/2 inch from where I pulled it. And it's all squared up, pretty much. So there goes another 3.5 inch strip. So I got cobalt blue coming. I know I must have told you that. Cobalt blue, and I've got some color of red. And I got 2 bolts of that because it was just too good of a deal. And blue and black, I mean red and black go good together. So does blue and black. Black goes good with everything, right? So we're at a 17. 1, 2, 3.5. So I need 13.5. Okay, I need to move that up just a little bit so I can see the dots. Okay, so 17. It looks square, but it's not on a line. I want to see the line. Okay, a line. And we'll go ahead and go to 17 and a half. Right? Okay. So it looks like I need to be on 14. 3.5, 3.5, 7. I wonder if I got a complete yard. Let's just see. Move that up. It's really what I was trying to figure out, if I could keep a whole yard. There's 24 inches. $24 and 12.5. All right. So I've got a full yard and a half inch. So I'm going to fold this up like I did the black one. I kept a little bit of the material. So far I didn't do that very good. Let's move it over a little bit more. Da-dum. Yeah, I know. I sing things too much. Then they get tired of it. Mother! I'm exaggerating a little bit. Just a little. In other words, no one wants to hear me singing, especially not something over and over and over again. You know, like I did Stephen Sanchez's song, When I Found You. Come on, work it out. Okay, now I'll go one more time. And really, I should have a label to put on here. So this was a yard. I don't have quite a yard of the black, and I'm not sure what I did with the black. What did I do? It has gone. Okay, so I can't really cut any more out until I figure out what I'm doing. I'm not sure. I've seen some of those squares made as... So if it had 3 inches exposed, and I did 4, that would be 12 inches. So I could have a 12-inch square, basically. I'm not sure about that half-inch thing. That's what you take up in your seams. But I think that would be really good. So if I do 4 rows, then I can cut it to where it'll be a square, and then I can put them together. I guess I'll pull you up. I just don't know why it seems so dark. Must be this room. I was thinking it's my phone. Something's going wrong with my phone. Anyway. Don't forget to say your prayers, even if they're very small. Say hi. Hey, Papa Bear. I mean, he's your Papa Bear in the heavenly sense. You know, he's my Papa Bear. And then there was my dad, who I called Papa Bear. Hopefully he's busy working with his wife, doing more genealogy work. Who knows? Who knows what they're doing? But anyway, I'm going to say, have a great day, whatever day it is that you get this. And I will come back with something. I don't know what. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for coming back. I know I've been gone a while, or it seems like it. Get my head into different things. And then there's just a lot going on sometimes. But what I started to say is my daughter and her beau have gone down to Florida. they left this morning just after midnight, maybe 1 o'clock. They were aiming for midnight. I'm just not sure what time they got out of here. And then they'll be back, I think it is, they'll be back Sunday. I'm not sure. I forget. So all I know, she said something about 5 days. So what is this? Today is Wednesday? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I'm not sure if she has to be back to work on Monday or if she's aiming to be back so she can go to work, or if she's coming back on Monday. But I will have the house to myself. My grandson came over. He says, "You're going to have a party while you got the house to yourself?" I'm going, "I'm not much of a partier, and I don't have anybody here to party with." So he says, "Just put it on YouTube. Party at such and such place." That would really go over well, wouldn't it? Anyway, you guys have a great one. And yes, I don't know why I've got all this darkness in my phone. I'm sorry. Hopefully it'll be great. You know, I used to, a long time ago, sing you guys that little song. Not a full song. Happy trails to you until we meet again. And yes, I'm a yodeler. My voice goes up and down sometimes. I can't really help it. So let me show you some eyeballs. You guys have a great day, no matter when. Okay, bye.